You're sitting there, finally starting to feel okay. The silence had stretched long enough that you stopped checking your phone every 5 minutes. You were actually sleeping good again. And then they came back. So a text, a hey text, a hope you're doing well at 11 p.m. like the last 3 months didn't happen. And now you're asking the question everyone in your position asks, why? Here's what I need you to hear before we go any further. I am not an avoidant. I got ghosted. Hard. And I spiraled, but instead of waiting for an apology that never came, I studied psychology behind why people disappear and why they almost always come back. There are 3 psychological pathways that explain it. Not theories, not manifesting them back. Nonsense. Actual attachment psychology. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand the real reason they returned and why it has almost nothing to do with missing you. The first pathway is the simplest, and it's the one most people get wrong. They think the avoidant came back because they missed them, because absence made the heart grow founder, because the no contact period worked. That's not what happened. What actually happened is that the avoidance nervous system finally calmed down. Here's the thing about avoidant attachment that nobody tells you. Avoidants don't run because they don't care. They run because caring terrifies them, triggers their fight or flight response. Intimacy feels like a threat. So, when they're with you, when things are going well, when you're getting closer, the body is screaming danger. Not because you're dangerous, but because closeness is the danger signal for someone who's avoidant wiring. And the solution? They bolt, they ghost, and they disappear. I'm going to use an image here that's going to sound crude, but it might make sense in a second. Imagine if feelings for you are buried under a huge pile of stuff. Anxiety, fear, and terror being known. The discomfort of someone expecting something from them. All that piles on top of whatever genuine connection they felt. When they're in the relationship, all they can feel is the weight of the pile, the pressure and the suffocation. The actual feelings for you are so buried so deep, they can't access them. But the moment they leave, the moment the pressure is gone, the pile starts to dissolve. No more expectations, no more vulnerability, no more risk of disappointing someone or being dependent on. Anxiety lifts, and what's left underneath? The feelings. This is why no contact works. Not because it's a manipulation tactic, but because it removes the threat. Without the threat of closeness, the avoidance nervous system downregulates. The fear goes quiet, and suddenly, they can access the very thing that made them run in the first place. Genuine care. German psychologist Stephanie Stahl describes it as the avoidance core conflict. They want connection, but connection triggers their avoidant wound. So they oscillate, close, and panic and withdrawal. The silence creates safety that feelings resurface, then return. A 2025 study in the journal found that avoidant dismissing individuals rely on deactivating strategies. Suppression, emotional distancing, denial. These strategies don't eliminate feelings. They shove them out of reach until the perceived threat is gone. So, when do they come back? It's not that they realize your worth. It's not that they changed. It's that the nervous system finally let them feel what was always there. Call it what it is, not a love story, just a nervous system regulation. And here's the uncomfortable question you need to sit with. The only reason they can access their feelings for you is your absence. What happens when you're present again? Hey, I need to interrupt you this for a second. If you're watching this and you've been ghosted, you know how fast your brain spirals. One hate text and suddenly you're back in the loop, analyzing, waiting, and refreshing. I built something specific for that moment. It's called the ghosting loop breaker. 5 tools that stop the spiral in under 5 minutes, including activation, reality checks, no text pause checklist, and calm reply scripts so you can respond from a steady place instead of an anxious one. The link is in the description down below. Lifetime access. Now back to the pathway 2 because this one's harder to hear. The second reason they come back is comfort. Not love, not passion, not I made a mistake, losing you. Comfort. Here's what that means. A person who goes their biggest fear isn't being alone. It's feeling unstable. Everything about how they operate is built around one goal. Staying in control of how they feel. And the way they do that is by controlling how close people get. So when they were with you, your closest made them feel out of control. So they left to feel steady again. But here's the catch. Once they feel steady, they now face a different problem. Loneliness, no comfort, nobody safe to orbit around. And they remember, you were that person. You made them feel safe. You were steady, so they came back. Not because they want you, but because they want the feeling you gave them. This is where you have to be really honest with yourself. When they came back, your brain probably lit up because you've been telling yourself a story about who they are, not who they actually showed you they were. That's called limerence. It's when your brain attaches to the idea of someone instead of the reality. You're not in love with the person who ghosted you. You're in love with the version you imagine, the one who would eventually explain, eventually apologize, and eventually show up. That person does not exist. The person who came back, they're looking for comfort, a safe place to land. They're not coming back to give you answers. They're coming back to get something from you. Read that again. I spent a lot of time in ghosting and attachment communities on Reddit. The pattern is the same across hundreds of stories. I'm back when something in their life feels shaky. A new relationship fails, work gets stressful, and they feel lonely late at night. And the person who ghosted, who's been healing, who's been doing the work, gets pulled right back in. That's not them choosing you. That's them looking for a soft place to land. Big difference. Reason 3 is the one that will finally help you stop taking this personally. Inside their brain, there's a battle happening, and it has nothing to do with you. On one side, the part of their brain that senses danger. For someone who ghosts, emotional closeness is danger. Their brain learned this early, probably in childhood, when the people who were supposed to care for them were unreliable, cold, or scary. The lesson their body learned was closeness is not safe. On the other side, the rational part of their brain, this part knows connection is good. It remembers you were kind. It remembers the good moments, and caught in the middle, their whole system completely out of balance. Here's how the cycle works. When they're close to you, the danger alarm goes off. They pull away, the threat disappears, your alarm stops, the rational side says, wait, I actually like this person. They reach out. Then, you respond, things feel good for a moment, and the alarm goes off again. This has nothing to do with whether you were good enough. It's a pattern that was wired into them long before you ever met them. You cannot love someone out of a fear response they learned as a child. Research shows that people with a healthy sense of attachment can feel a feeling without being swallowed by it. People who ghost, they can't do that. They can't sit with discomfort. They can only escape it. So, when they ghost you, they weren't rejecting you. They were escaping the feeling of being close to you. That's not rejection, that's avoidance. And when they come back, same thing in reverse. They're escaping loneliness. They're not choosing you at all. So stop asking, what did I do wrong? And start asking, why am I giving someone who couldn't even say goodbye the power to tell me what I'm worth? Here's what nobody tells you. Understanding this doesn't mean you have to forgive them. You don't owe anyone access to you because their brain is wired differently. Their inner battle is real. Their pain is real. And their actions still hurt you. Both things can be true. And the answers you're looking for, the explanation, the apology, the I should have stayed, you have to build that yourself. It starts the moment you stop waiting for someone else to tell you your worth. So they came back, and now you know why. It wasn't love. It wasn't growth. It wasn't the universe rewarding you patience. It was their body calming down, looking for comfort, and a battle inside their head that started long before you. What do you do with that is up to you. But if you're tired of the cycle, the ghost, the comeback, the second ghost that always follows, I built a system for this. It's called the 30-Day Ghosting Recovery System. Not a community, not a monthly fee. A step-by-step plan to break the loop, rebuild your confidence, and stop looking for closure from people who can't even say goodbye. The link is in the description down below and in bio as well. And if you're not ready for that yet, the Ghosting Reset Room is free. That's where we start. You're not broken. They didn't break you, but staying in the cycle will. Stop waiting, start moving.